All right, everybody, we're coming back from the break here. If you're just turning on your radio, it's called the Business to Business Network Show. My name is Rex Perry, and for 15 and a half plus years, we've been given names and phone numbers of real estate agents out on the radio airwaves, and our co-host is
Jeff Obrasky with Homeowners Financial Group.
number one top loan officer.
I was Loan Officer of the Year 2013.
We got
top five producer. Okay, but number one in the hearts and minds of all my fellow employees.
That's because of some of the extra stuff you did.
I help a lot.
Excellent. Our next guest is Brian.
Yeah, Brian North, Green Street Real Estate, Inc.
Introduce yourself a little bit. You got an interesting story. You were an investor.
I was. I still am an investor, but I was an investor full time when I first got into the business. Unlicensed, buying and selling homes as a principal. I started in just as the market started to drop in mid-late 2006, so I didn't really get to experience the good run. I kind of had to go dig them out of the ditch. Yeah.
Well, now you've built a team. Kind of tell us how you've organized that.
Yeah, as when you get into the market in 2006, as everybody knows, it went up and down, up and down, up and down. So you have to recreate your business probably every 6 months, realistically. And in 2009, we felt that there was, an opening in the market for people who understood distressed real estate transactions to be able to help distressed sellers, get out of their situation and avoid deficiencies and taxes and all kinds of fun things like that. So we started a real estate brokerage. Sales manager for that real estate brokerage for a year, but I really loved dealing with the public, and I loved clients, and I loved my neighborhood, so I decided to embark on building a team in Arcadia. And today I have 8 agents on my team that all live in and around that zip code, and we specialize in Arcadia and the Camelback Corridor.
Introduce Arcadia, because there's people in their cars. Tell us where we're at there.
Yeah, so Arcadia, you're not going to find it on anybody's mail envelope, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't say Arcadia, it says Phoenix.
No wonder I can't find that neighborhood.
As is like the Biltmore, for example, or we refer to North Central, right? So all these little neighborhoods. Arcadia is really a neighborhood, and it is east of 44th Street, north of the canal at roughly Indian School, in the zip code of 85018. So that's kind of the Arcadia neighborhood. It's old orange orchard, large grass lots at the base of Camelback Mountain, really good schools, beautiful homes.
And have you gone in there and done some renovation on some of the? Describe what you've done in there.
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything, obviously. Right now, so I have done some renovation homes in there, but we also have a development group that we work with closely, Green Street Communities, and they do the bulk of the development now. We source the acquisitions or a number of acquisitions for Green Street Communities, who's doing the renovation.
Fantastic. Now, Jeff, for financing, you got interesting stuff where after they've done that, they want to pull some cash out. Sometimes.
Sure. There's a number of products that have actually come back to the market, which is nice. We can do land again. It's not mainstream. We can do one-time or two-time construction closes. Most people would prefer one-time. We can even do spec financing, up to 65%. We've got 80-10-10s are back. Right? Most people look at an 80-10-10, as if you want to do a 90% jumbo, okay? That works fine in that $500,000-$600,000 range, all right? It doesn't work that well, though, once you get up to $1 million plus, because the problem is that the first lien holder, where you're getting your primary, will give you 80%, okay? Won't let you have higher than 80% on the back end. But what you could do, and we can use the same appraisal, okay, for up to 90 days. So if you really wanted to buy that house for $1.2 million, you really only wanted to put $150,000 into it. Okay, got a $500,000 401k. You've been at the company for 20 years. Go take a short-term loan out of your 401k. You pay 3% to yourself. Costs you nothing. Okay, put down the 20%. All right. The day after you close, we'll submit a loan application for a home equity line of credit. Okay, which we can allow you to go up to 89.99% of the appraised value of the property. One day after a close, okay, and you can immediately pull that $100,000 back out. So it's a neat product. It's not mainstream by any stretch of the imagination. It has multiple uses for it, but it's nice. It's nice to see there are some local smaller banks that, with some of the higher quality mortgage banks out there, are beginning to team up to do some less traditional type of product now that the market's getting better.
It's exciting. Things are just improving right and left. Now, you got an interesting story also with your team. You do a lot of sales that never hit the MLS, the multiple listing market, right?
Yeah, definitely. One thing is for us that I saw in the marketplaces there was a downturn is that I saw a lot of our competition, other brokers, kind of get soft on marketing dollars. And for us, it was a combination of how can we expand with our marketing dollars and really get creative with technology and new resources of marketing, but also to use some of those guerrilla grassroots campaigns to find new ways to do business with old practices. So the group of 8 agents, we do open house tours every weekend, Saturday from 11 to 3. And then we send out postcards inviting all the neighbors to those open houses. And then we door knock those neighbors 2 days before the open house to personally invite them. What it does is it affords us a lot of networking in the community. And we find a lot of people who are willing to sell but don't want to list on the MLS, or aren't ready to list on the MLS, or don't know where they would go if they did list on the MLS. Right. So we're able to pair our buyers that we meet at our open houses with those sellers who aren't particularly keen on listing on the MLS, and we can put those together before they in fact do that. And then we can use loan product like what Jeff has at Homeowners with the construction loan or some rehab financing or some of those creative product that he has to be able to go out and actually site shop some of these properties and either do additions to the projects or tear downs or whatever they might want to do. So it's a way of just taking all of these aspects of what have been old and new to the market and being able to bridge buyers and sellers to make it happen.
Fantastic. Okay, so especially if you're working in Arcadia or looking in Arcadia, you want to talk to Brian because you can possibly lead them to something that...
Yeah, what people out there need to understand is that
cool.
Every transaction that occurs didn't necessarily show up on the MLS.
That's right.
I've got 2 small ones this month, and they're not Arcadia.
Yeah.
They're $90,000 condos in Mesa. 2 of them. Neither of them hit the MLS. They were a friend of a friend of a friend. They were cross sales, etc. So they're, it really helps to find an agent like Brian who's willing to do things in a less traditional fashion.
Get on his list by calling. How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can go to North and Co. The name of my team is North and Co. So www.northandco.com, or you can reach me at 480-250-6687.
Phone number one more time.
480-250-6687.
Financing.
It's Jeff Obrasky at Homeowners Financial Group, 602-445-9094.
Fantastic. Thank you both so much. We've got to do another break. 123bz.com. Stay tuned. We're coming right back at you.